Hi, this is the first help video for Access Chapter 6, the Prepare Case. In Chapter 6, there's actually two prepare cases. There's an A and a B, and this is the first for A. So what I have done is started Access after downloading the start file, and I have the start file on the right and my help my instructions there on the left. So we're going to go ahead, and this chapter is all about improving our queries and making advanced criteria in our queries and more work with calculations. So in this very first query, we're going to talk about wildcards. So this would be step 2. And wildcards, we've used those before, and the most common wildcard is the asterisk, and that means wherever that asterisk is placed, any kind of character and any number of characters can be substituted in that placeholder. So wherever you put that, you're kind of saying, like, I don't really care what's here. Another wildcard that's used is the question mark, and that is also like the asterisk in that any kind of a character, number, letter, space, can special character can be there, but it's a single character. So for every question mark, you substitute one character in that and no more. So in this first one, we're going to create a query, and we only want the employees that that have the position caddy in there. So let me just kind of show you. Let's go open up employees and just kind of look at this, right? So right here, look, caddy's at the end. So we know that based on our data that we need to put something in front of the word caddy so we can get anything. So here, position ends with the word caddy. So where I don't care what it says, I substitute the asterisk. So let's go ahead and build this. Create a query in design, and from here you can see we're only going to use table employee, and then I'm done picking tables, so I'm going to close that. I'm going to open this up so I can see all my fields, and I'm going to do my little bit of housekeeping. Once again, that's just my kind of thing. Okay, so first name, last name, salary, hire date, and position. And so position is the one where we're going to include a criteria. So I find position, I move to the criteria row, and I could just do asterisk caddy, and then watch what happens when I hit tab. So Access puts the like, let me zoom so you guys can see it a little better. So Access puts the like and it puts the quotes, and this worked for me because caddy is a single word. You might run into situations if you have words with spaces, you know, a phrase, if you're looking, you might have to put your own quotes in there. But in this case, it was a single word. So now, if I run this query, I should only get caddy at the end. Now, it so happens that all of the job titles are the same. They say golf. But it could say something else in front of it, and it would still apply because of the wildcard. We're going to go ahead and save this and call it QR caddy. And so now that can be run at any time. So step number 3 of this assignment shows us how we can use square brackets when we're creating a query and using the like with a wildcard to do a range. So the example that we're going to create is we want to look at the list of members that last name begins with the letters A through M. So maybe we're doing breaking it up and having 2 different nights of an invitation golf round or something, and we want to do one mailing A through M and the other N through Z. So this would allow us to just break down and find the customers whose letters begin with A through M. So it starts the same way. So we're going to create a query in design. We're going to pick the table member. I'm done with that, so I'm going to close that. I'm going to look at my, and we want first name, last name, address, city, state, zip code. So in the last name field, use a wildcard and the like function to include customers whose last names begin with the letters A through M. So I got to find last name, the criteria row. Now I'm going to zoom so it is more visible. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to actually type this. So like, quote, square bracket, and that square bracket is what tells Access that this is a range. So let me just type this in and explain it. So we don't care what the rest of their name is. We only care that their first letter is A, and then this hyphen is like saying the word through. A through M as the first letter. We don't care what the rest of it is. So we're going to go ahead and do OK. And let's, oh, we have to sort it, right? Sort by last name, ascending. So let's run it and see what we get. Alan, Barker, Britt, all the way to M. Nothing past that. So that absolutely works, right? When you get that more complex, you often have to type the like in yourself. But you can try it without and see. I usually just type it at that point. So we're going to save this as QRY member AM. And we are then done with step number 3. Okay, in step number 4, we're going to explore the return top values. And so this is actually something that's done when you are displaying your query. So we're going to just start off building a query just like normal. So in this one, we're going to use table member lessons and include schedule, date, and fee. So let's just start with that. So create query in design. We want table member lessons. I'm going to open that up a little bit. And we want schedule date and fee. So if I run that right now, I get a date and a fee. Okay, let's do descending order by fee, just so we can get it in the right order. Okay, so now it's showing for the date, the fee for that date, from the date that brought in the most to the date that brought in the least. So what we want to do is just look at the top 25% of the fee. So back here on our design, in the query setup, do you see this little return? And right now, and the default is that it sets to all. But if I click that down, you can see that there's 2 different numbering methods that we can use. One is an absolute number. So if I put 5 and I run it, it's going to bring me 5 because I'm saying explicitly 5, 10, 3, 100. Then you can do percentages, and so the number returned can change because it's only going to give you that percentage of total records. And so when the total number of records change, the number returned can be changed. So we only want to look at the top 25%. So if I run it, in this case, I have 5 rows because those are the top 25 dates for fees. If I go back and I change this to something that's not on the drop down, which is fine, I'm going to put 20% in here. Actually, let me put 40% and run it. I get 6. So it added another one in there because I changed that range. So one of the things I wanted to show you was that you can use what's here, but you certainly can type in either a number or a percentage. So if I run that, it shows me the top 25 days that have the highest fees. I'm going to save this as query top 25%. And I'm going to save that. We are done with step number 4. And we're going to end this movie. And I'll pick up the next movie on step number 5. Thank you.